Maybe I have some strange interests and the algorithm decided this kind of content would appeal to me, or maybe it actually fascinates everyone. Those short reels or YouTube shorts about the most powerful mafia boss or the lavish life of the world's deadliest gang leader keep popping up on your feed too. Personally, I'm not interested in this kind of lifestyle and it doesn't appeal to me at all. But one thing did catch my attention. How much wealth does the criminal underworld really possess, or at least approximately? In this video, we're going to break down the asset capitalization of some of the world's most notorious mafia groups and compare them to publicly traded companies to better understand whether these are truly massive amounts of money or not. Let's get into it. We'll approach the financial analysis of these criminal syndicates as if they were companies listed on the stock market, using several standard metrics: total capitalization, annual revenue, and business sectors. A logical question comes up right away. Where do we get the data? It's not like these major crime families are submitting annual reports to the tax authorities. Mafia income is not directly measurable, but these estimates are inherently approximate and based on credible, traceable methodologies such as law enforcement, intelligence, journalistic investigations, economic modeling, asset confiscation reports, and academic research estimation. Let's start with the first syndicate on our list, the Japanese Yakuza, with an estimated asset capitalization ranging from $40 to $80 billion. The estimated annual revenue of the main Yakuza clans is around 26.3 billion US dollars. Japanese Yakuza is a collective term for organized crime groups in Japan with a semi-legal historical background that dates back to the 17th century. In the modern era, the largest syndicates such as Yamaguchi-gumi, Sumiyoshi-kai, and Inagawa-kai engage in money laundering, construction fraud, gambling operations, drug trafficking, and extortion. These are fairly typical criminal activities. However, there are some unique features to the Yakuza. Unlike many other global mafias, the Yakuza traditionally operate in the open. They have offices, business cards, and even participate in public events. Despite a decline in membership, they remain an economically influential force in Japan's shadow economy. Their economic involvement by sector, construction, the Yakuza have historically been deeply embedded in Japan's construction industry. Estimates suggest that 4 to 5% of the industry may be influenced or accessed by Yakuza-run subcontracting firms, labor supply organizations, and corruption in public contracts. This translates to an estimated $20 to $30 billion. Entertainment and adult industry. The Yakuza maintain strong historical ties to the adult entertainment and nightlife economy, especially in Tokyo, Osaka, and Fukuoka. Conservative estimates suggest up to 20% involvement, representing $10 to $13 billion. Real estate speculation. Yakuza engage in land speculation, forced property seizures, and intimidation. Estimated influence up to $5 to $8 billion. Waste management through front companies and illegal dumping operations. Japanese Yakuza influence portions of Japan's waste management sector, especially in urban peripheries. Estimated involvement approximately 10 to 20%, approximately $2.5 to $5 billion. The annual revenue of the main Yakuza clans equals approximately 0.5% of Japan's GDP. The second criminal syndicate on our list, the Mexican drug cartels, with an estimated asset capitalization between 40 to 65 billion US dollars. The annual revenue of the major Mexican cartels is also estimated at approximately 40 to 65 billion US. The largest cartels, such as Sinaloa, CJNG, Jalisco New Generation Cartel, and Los Zetas, operate like well-organized corporations with their own logistics networks, armed enforcement wings, and political connections. Mexican drug cartels are among the most powerful and dangerous criminal organizations in the world. They emerged in the second half of the 20th century, having seized control over transnational drug trafficking routes, especially for cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, and marijuana into the United States and Europe. Economic involvement and sectoral penetration. Construction Cartels are involved in public infrastructure projects through Mexico's Secretariat for Agrarian, Territorial and Urban Development, which oversees land management, including agrarian reform, infrastructure development, and state-funded construction projects such as housing, roads, and public spaces. Estimates suggest that 6 to 9% of the construction industry may be influenced or accessed by cartel-connected interests. Fuel, energy. While Pemex, the national oil company, dominates the sector, cartels are known to siphon off around 10% of legal fuel trade. Estimates suggest cartel activity impacts 6 to 9% of the fuel energy sector. Mining. Cartels have significant control over illegal and informal mining operations, estimated to account for approximately 40% of all illicit output. Estimates suggest that 10 to 17% of the industry may be affected. Logistics/trucking cartels utilize trucking and logistics companies to launder money and transport narcotics. Estimates place their influence at 6 to 10% of the industry. The annual revenue of the major Mexican drug cartels is estimated to represent approximately 2.5 to 3.8% of Mexico's GDP. To put this into perspective, this is roughly equivalent to the combined annual spending of the Mexican government on education and health care. The third criminal syndicate on our list is the Serbian Mafia, active primarily in the Balkans, with an estimated asset capitalization between 30 to 40 billion US dollars. Their estimated annual revenue range between 17 to 26 billion US dollars. The Serbian Mafia consists of a network of organized criminal groups operating across the Balkans, with deep connections throughout Europe and even into South America. These groups specialize in international trafficking of cocaine and heroin, arms smuggling, money laundering, extortion, and corruption in professional sports. Economic involvement and sectoral penetration, quantifying their direct involvement in Serbia's domestic economy, is extremely difficult. Construction related revenue, approximately 1.5 to 2.5 billion US dollars, approximately 15 to 25% of the market. Gambling and entertainment mafia controlled share, approximately 500 to 700 million, approximately 33 to 45%. The annual revenue of major Serbian mafia clans is estimated to represent approximately 14 to 22% of Serbia's GDP. Fourth on our list is the Turkish mafia groups, with an estimated asset capitalization 2 to 32.5 billion US dollars and an annual revenue of around 18 to 23 billion US dollars. The Turkish mafia is a collective term for a vast network of clans and criminal families. Their roots lie in opium and arms smuggling in the 1970s, gaining modern strength through their control over the Balkan Route, a major heroin trafficking corridor from Afghanistan into the EU. Turkish criminal groups are tightly linked with football ultras, private security companies, and certain political circles, granting them protection and access to public contracts. Turkish syndicates tend to avoid deep involvement in the official public sector to avoid conflict with Erdogan's authoritarian regime. Their legal economic footprint in state-controlled sectors remains small, estimated at just a few percent. The estimated annual revenue of Turkish mafia groups equals approximately 1.6 to 2.1% of Turkey's GDP. Fifth on the list are Italian mafia clans and families, with an estimated asset capitalization ranging from 20 to 27 billion euros and an annual revenue of approximately 40 to 60 billion euros. The Italian Mafia consists of historically rooted criminal groups such as Cosa Nostra, Sicily, 'Ndrangheta, Calabria, Camorra, Naples, and Sacra Corona Unita, Apulia. Unlike spontaneous street gangs, these mafias function as parallel states, delivering justice, providing protection, and embedding themselves within state and municipal institutions. These clans control drug trafficking, extortion, public procurement, construction tenders, and the agricultural sector, extending their financial influence across Europe and beyond. Economic involvement by sector, agribusiness / food supply. 24 billion euros revenue, control of produce markets, transport and storage. Estimated mafia share 15 to 25% of the government sector, construction and public works, inflated contracts, front companies, procurement manipulation. Estimated mafia share 10 to 20% of the public construction sector, waste management, illegal dumping, regional transport monopolies. Estimated mafia share 30 to 40% in the Naples region, transportation and logistics, shipping and road transport, often tied to port mafias. Estimated mafia share 10 to 15% in public and regional contracts. The annual revenue of Italy's main mafia clans equals approximately 3.82% of Italy's GDP. Sixth is the Chinese triads, with an estimated asset capitalization of 10 to 20 billion US dollars and annual revenues between 18 to 28 billion US dollars. The triads are ancient Chinese criminal organizations. They are actively involved in transnational smuggling, including counterfeit goods and illicit technology, with deep connections in Asian megacities and ties to legitimate business sectors. Triads remain significant players in the global shadow economy. Economic involvement by sector. It's difficult to provide structured data on triad involvement in China's economy, as operating illegally within a totalitarian system is extremely risky. While triad activity clearly exists, their involvement in the legal public sector is estimated at just a few percent. Their annual revenue equals approximately 0.1 to 0.16% of China's GDP. Seventh in our list is the Russian Bratva, or Russian-speaking organized crime syndicates. The term Russian Bratva refers to criminal organizations that emerged in the 1990s during the collapse of the USSR and the rise of a criminalized economy. These groups are known for their strict hierarchies and prison-based culture, the thieves in law code. They are involved in extortion, black market oil and metals trade, arms trafficking, narcotics, and large-scale money laundering via offshore accounts, real estate, and shell companies. Estimated asset capitalization. This is difficult to assess precisely, so we divide it into external and internal segments. External operations. Those outside Russia tend to avoid flamboyant lifestyles. In this culture, flashy behavior is considered dangerous. Lavish mansions and a flashy, luxurious lifestyle draw unwanted attention from law enforcement. In turn, that kind of attention can become a threat to other gang leaders. So the rule is simple. Either you keep a low profile or you become a threat to us and we will kill you. Okay, let's get back to capital valuation. But I want to clarify once again, we are talking about real bandits, not oligarchs from Russia on expensive yachts. Their estimated asset capitalization is around 7 billion US dollars. Annual revenue is relatively modest by mafia standards, 7 to 10 billion US dollars. Inside Russia, organized crime groups technically exist, but they do not oppose the state. All key revenue generating assets are already controlled by oligarchs and security apparatus loyal to the regime. The government itself in many ways functions under thieves' rules. To illustrate, at the highest levels of Russian government, it's customary to give a meat and sausage gift basket to a mayor or governor when awarding official state honors. Ironically, that meat basket is a coded warning: it's time to flee if you don't want to end up in prison. Other smaller syndicates. Other well-known global criminal organizations tend to have similar capitalizations ranging from hundreds of millions to a few billion dollars. Examples include Brazil, PCC, Primeiro Comando da Capital, approximately $1 billion. El Salvador, MS-13, approximately $2 billion. Dominican Republic, Quirino Paulino Castillo, approximately $2 billion. Let's compare the asset base of these criminal syndicates to legitimate publicly known companies. Note, we are referring to balance sheet assets, not market capitalization. So based on these figures, if criminal organizations were listed on the stock exchange, many would hold substantial weight. Some might even multiply their asset value thanks to clear hierarchies, established markets, and predictable control structures. Moral of the story, my perspective. Despite the large turnover of mafia groups, there are many more legal companies that have a large capitalization, which is an indirect confirmation that it is always better to choose a legal way of income if you want to succeed in business. Guys and girls, no matter how cool the gangster lifestyle may look in reels or shorts, it's a brutal world. It's easy to enter, hard to survive, and impossible to leave. Drop your thoughts and comments under this video. Subscribe and thanks for watching. See you next time.